Good morning everybody, welcome to the Sunday morning show. As you can see, I am not in the studio with Lester. I'm up here at St Andrews. Lester is at home looking after the shop, taking care of everything, and we did a little pre-recording for you. So let's head back to the studio now and meet up with Lester and see what we've been up to. Dan Hendriksen here and
Lester Barnes.
Just pops out of nowhere, doesn't he? Just absolutely pops out of nowhere. So we are in the studio today and we thought we would go through a number of questions that have been sent in from the Sunday show, but they're a little bit longer in the questions, so they're really hard to sort of answer just in one Sunday show. So we thought we would dedicate this one video to this one question.
Which is sent in by Simon Quick. I think his brother is a member of Torquay Golf Club and his dad was as well, wasn't he?
He may have been as well.
Yeah, so he sent a question asking about length of driver shafts or shafts in their driver. He wanted us to experiment and see what the difference between hitting a normal length driver shaft, which I've got in my driver currently, and putting in a fairway shaft as well, see what happens and what the results are.
So as Lester is head of reviews, I thought I'd name him head of testing as well. His back is holding up a little bit better than mine at the moment. So we're going to get Lester to hit his driver. But we've also pulled in his 3-wood, but we're just going to take the shaft out of the 3-wood, put it into his driver, and just test out which one kind of gives him maybe a little bit more accuracy, see if there's a change in strike at all, and hopefully answer the question that Simon Quick has sent in. Let's get Lester to hit a few balls.
So current driver I'm using at present is the Cobra King SC. I've got the 14 gram weight at the back and the 2 gram weight in the front, and it's set on 10.5 degrees.
Shaft?
Shaft is my favourite Tour AD DI6X. Spieth uses the orange version of that.
You've got the black version.
It's a shaft I've had 10 years or so.
Yeah. Okay, and you've got exactly the same in your 3-wood?
Yeah, exactly the same shaft but in a 3-wood length.
Okay, so we're going to hit the driver first with the driver length shaft, and then we're going to come back and hit the driver with the 3-wood shaft in.
Cool.
Okay, go for it.
All right.
Okay, first one to get you going.
Yeah.
Pretty standard for you?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, that's straight down the line, isn't it?
Oh no.
No? Didn't like that? A little bit leaky out to the right hand side.
Not good.
Just coming down yardage.
260.
260, but just a little bit leaky to the right hand side. Again, good hit. Slightly turning over this time.
A little bit left, yeah.
So a little bit of a turnover. 283 though, Bernie.
I just thought I'd hit one as hard as I could.
Cool, that's pretty impressive. Very good stuff. A little bit left hand side.
Pretty good.
Pretty good shot.
Yeah.
Straight down the middle, maybe just leaking out to the right hand side a fraction.
Would hit the fairway, I think.
Bad. Pretty good strike as well. Pretty centre, slightly high on the face. 280. Oof,
pretty good.
You are warmed up.
Hey.
Very much so. Well done.
Last one. I reckon I got a 290 carrying me if it went hard.
You reckon?
Yeah. Ready?
Yep. Seeing it. Oh, that is a bomber.
There you go. That's more like
an
it.
Absolute line ball bomber, isn't it? Maybe just turning over fractionally left. So high in the toe position. 114 mile an hour clubhead speed there, Benny. That's pretty good. 295. 295. All that protein. Look straight in that one gun. Wow.
Not bad for 40 years old, is it?
My goodness, that's quite impressive.
Yeah. 297 that was.
Right, you go and stretch yourself out because we've got to hit the 3-wood now. So whilst you're just taking out the head of moving the heads around, that obviously the driver shaft just feels absolutely normal to you, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
Nothing to report really, is it?
No, I've never had a shortened driver. I've always had standard length.
Okay.
Generally.
Now, before you hit this next one,
yeah,
what are your thoughts in this? So obviously there's a good 1.5 inches, 2 inches difference there in length, isn't there? So what are you expecting to get? Are you expecting to improve strike, number one?
Yeah, I mean you should do a shorter shaft should make it easier to hit, so you should find the centre more often, although it might take a little bit getting used to because it's going to feel short, isn't it?
Yeah.
I would say distance should be slightly less.
Okay, so you're seeing a little bit different.
Just because of the shorter shaft.
Yeah. Clubhead speed?
Clubhead speed should decrease as well, shouldn't it?
Okay, so you're going to lose speed as in overall distance or carry distance, because the swing speed is going to drop down.
Correct.
But the ball speed should be maintained pretty good because your
centre
of strike is going to improve. Or be good. Yeah,
it just looks weird, doesn't it?
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how you feel as well when you actually hit it. What it makes you kind of feel like you're doing to hit that club.
I mean, it doesn't feel. I know it should do, but it doesn't feel any lighter.
No.
It feels similar weight.
Okay.
Like I couldn't, if I put that in my hand now, and then put it previously, I wouldn't be able to tell it was shorter.
No, could you not?
No. It still feels like it's got good weight in it.
Okay.
Should we hit it and see what happens?
That's it.
It feels strange.
Does the head, now that the shaft is a little bit shorter, does the head look bigger?
Yeah, it looks massive. Yeah.
It's funny, isn't it, when it comes
I guess that would give you confidence if you're a high handicapper. I mean, the heads are, from what we started with, when we first began playing, I mean, the heads are just, they've got bigger and bigger and bigger, haven't they, until they got to the 460. But as a high handicapper, looking down at that now, I mean, that just looks massive because obviously you stood closer to it.
Yeah. Okay, let's go then.
Okay. What are you expecting to see from it then?
Well, I don't think your centre of strike is going to move around too much.
No.
I think you'll be surprised that you're used to hitting a driver. So I do think your club head speed is going to reduce slightly, and I think that in turn is just going to lose you a few yards. I don't even think you're going to be any more accurate with it. No.
But do you think a high handicapper would be?
It's difficult to tell because you're so used to hitting driver.
Yeah.
You know.
So how many yards do you reckon I'll lose then off the max one?
20.
20 yards, okay.
20 yards. I'm feeling a 15 to 20 yard drop in this. Can I see you hitting it like 260 or 270? Ooh. Sounded a little poppy.
That is left.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is left,
way left.
Isn't it? Okay, so we've got a bit of a dippy one to start us off with.
Yeah. Feels strange it is.
Okay, where's that going?
Fraction right of target. If I get one, like I've got a couple of them straight line with no shape, I reckon I could probably get that. You want to get
up
it there 270.
I think you just want to get it slightly. If you can get one just turning over a fraction, I think you've got a bomb ball in you. Oh, again, sounded really poppy. That's a bomber, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, Bernie, that's a 271. That is a 271 line ball. Is that just dropped off to the right hand side? Yeah.
271.
2-1 in the spin as well. 271.
Interesting.
Well, that's a 24 yard drop off.
Yeah.
From your best bomber of 295.
Well, I reckon I can hit it slightly harder.
I think you've hit one quite similar to that went about 280 odd.
Yeah.
So there's your sort of 283 or whatever it was.
Should I try and hit a max one, like one that I would?
Yeah, like what you did on the last shot that you hit in the last one, didn't you? Let's have another bomber. No. Bit leaky out to the right hand side. 262 in the carry though, Bernie. Slightly heely. Yeah. Slightly lower in the face and slightly heely, so that's going to leak you off over to the right hand side.
I feel like I could play that if I practiced with it and got used to it. It just feels so short.
Definitely feeling, and still the head looking and feeling a little bit.
Yeah, I mean
bigger.
The size, the head being bigger is giving me a little bit more confidence.
Right.
But it just feels so alien because you're so close to the ball. It feels short.
Yeah.
Maybe something in between the two. So taking an inch off your driver, potentially could work, but I would need to practice that a lot more than just grabbing it in the studio and hitting a few shots.
Yeah. Here we go then. Last bomber. Did you get it?
Yeah.
He got it.
He got it. Fraction left.
Turning over a fraction. That's not bad though, Bernie. What do you think you've got out of that?
277 as a guess.
277.
Was it?
Bang on. 277.
I saw it.
Very good. Just slightly down the left hand side.
Yeah.
So let's look at the numbers of what it's giving us and just see if you're a little bit more accurate with this, or let's just see what the numbers give us. Cool. You are analysing numbers. Well, I've left my iPad at home, so the kids have stolen it. So we're on the actual computer now. So just talk to me about, this is driver numbers, top five
foot driver length shaft,
yeah,
and then bottom 5 3-wood length shaft.
Okay, so I've taken out the 3-woods to start us off with.
Okay.
What is your average club head speed? Oh no, sorry, let's start off with ball speed. What's your average ball speed?
So average ball speed is 157.5.
Okay.
Round about that with a driver. I've got
Yeah.
one that's topping at 162.
Yeah.
And then one at 154.
54.
So yeah, round about 157.
Yeah.
Launching at 15 degrees, which is
Yeah.
about where I'm at generally.
Okay. Backspin.
Backspin 2-1.
It's pretty good for you.
Yeah, pretty good. It's about where I want to be. Sort of 2.2 is ideal, isn't it? 2.2 to 3,000 would be perfect.
On average,
So-
what is your offline position?
So
Offline there, 1.4 left.
But I've
on
got
average.
a few of these, some big numbers in here, and
Yeah, you've got.
there's a few lost balls here.
There's a 4 left and a 4 right in there.
Yeah,
but the other
definitely.
3 are okay.
But I mean, we were looking at distance, weren't we, and strike. So
absolutely.
I'm not really that concerned about, whether it's offline or whatever. But distance-wise,
Yeah.
so I've got one there.
280 on an average.
280. Got one peaking at 297,
Yeah.
and one dropping off at 262. So it's an average of 280.
Okay. Which is good.
Which is decent.
Alright.
Yeah, I'll take
Tidy
that
for you,
driver.
isn't
Yeah, I'm about 270 with my driver generally.
it? Okay. And then if I go down and have a quick look at your clubhead speed,
Yeah.
what's your average clubhead speed?
So we're in there at like 111 basically. I've got one there at 114.
Yeah.
Um,
So 110, 111
yeah,
in the clubhead
which is
speed.
about
So-
where I want to be.
which is about right. And
Yeah.
then just go over to strike now.
Okay, so you'll notice here in the strike,
Yeah.
we've got toe, heel. It's a bit over all over
It's
the
more
face.
toey
yeah,
than
it's
heel.
more toe than heel because that's dead centre and it's zero
Yeah.
toe. Yeah, slightly toe,
Okay.
which is where I've been trying to hit it out of because I felt like I was hitting it in the
On
heel.
average, you're 3 millimeters in the toe
Yeah.
and 7 millimeters high.
High,
Right,
okay.
let's go over now and have a little look at what the 3-wood is showing us. 3-wood length shaft numbers.
Yeah. So
Okay. Start with ball speed.
ball speed, 152.2.
Yeah. 152.4, consider 0.2, but
Yeah.
considering you were 157.4,
Yeah,
so
so I've
you've
lost 5.
5 mile an
mile
hour in ball speed.
Launch angles similar.
Yeah, 15.1 compared to 15.
Yeah.
Spin?
Backspin, 100 revs lower, which is
Yeah.
nothing, is it really?
No, absolutely, 100 revs. So you're
Nothing.
2,174 with the driver shaft compared to 2,076.
So nothing really. In it.
Nothing in that.
No.
Offline,
Offline, 3.2 left.
so you were 1.4 left. Now you're 3.2 yards left.
I've got a couple of big numbers in here.
You've got a 4 left
got
there at the top,
56,
and
yeah.
you've got a 4. Well, it's basically the same.
It's similar, isn't
You've
it?
got one shot at the top there at 1.2 yards left with the driver, which is your best shot,
Yeah.
compared to your best shot, which is 6 yards right.
Yeah.
And actually, if you look at the yardage and the difference, 272 with a 3-wood shaft compared to 273 in the carry with the 2 best shots. I mean, the ones that are most accurate, are
Yeah.
within a yard of each other.
Yeah.
So it's pretty good. On an average carry,
Average carry 267 compared to 280, so it's
Yeah.
13 yards. So,
13 yards shorter.
but we did say like with the driver we had a 262 in there, which was a miss hit.
Yeah,
So maybe that would have been sort of 15 to 20 yards shorter distance.
yeah.
Shall we have a look at club?
Let's look at the actual club data. That's it. Right,
Okay.
club data now.
So club speed is 105. Well, 105.4.
Yeah,
So 5 mile an hour down.
5.5 mile an hour down in clubhead speed.
Which you'd expect, wouldn't you?
If you look at your strike over there.
Yeah. Okay, so we're 3 mil in the heel and 9 mil high.
So
you've gone slightly higher.
on average. You're
on
4
average.
millimeters in the heel,
Yeah.
and you're 7 millimeters high. So
That's
you're
right.
actually.
Yeah.
So you've actually moved from 3 millimeters in the toe with a driver to now 4 millimeters in the heel, and you've gone 7 millimeters high to 7 millimeters high. So your strike
Staying in the
vertically
same.
is the same.
Horizontally, I'm
Laterally,
moving around
it's
it, yeah.
moved massive. I mean, it's moved an average of 7, even though we've lost 2 in there
Yeah.
because it didn't pick up those readings. But on an average, you've definitely moved it more heel strikey, but
Yeah.
you've struck it a little bit. Pretty much in the same spot from a vertical point of view.
Yeah.
So what I find interesting about these results that we're seeing over there is that if you think about where Leicester is with his driver, he's averaging 3 millimeters, so up higher in the face, but he's in the toe area, which is kind of, if I'm honest, it's where I would want to put him. But then if you think about it, the club has now got shorter, which you would think that the club would come closer to him, which then in turn you would think that maybe he might start striking it more out to the toe of the club. It did the reverse. It actually moved across the face this way. It stayed vertically in the same position, but it moved across the face this way. So him coming closer to the ball probably has made his strike performance maybe move that fraction more towards the heel.
A couple of months back when I wasn't hitting the driver as far as I'd wanted, I noticed that a lot of my strikes were heel based.
Okay.
So I've actually made a conscious effort with my driver to actually move my ball position towards the toe.
Okay.
To try and get a little bit of, try and take a bit of that spin off it, and also to get that ball moving slightly right to left if possible. So that might be something. It might just be working against.
I think over a period of time, you getting used to a 3-wood shaft in your driver,
Yeah.
I think you would learn to find the centre point of that golf club. I think because it's just new, you're moving a little bit, let's say, closer to the golf ball. You've just not got, I don't think you've quite got your depth on it quite right.
No, correct.
Whereas if you think consciously with a driver, you're moving further away from the ball to try and maybe strike it more out to the toe.
Yeah.
With a 3-wood in your hand, because it's an alien club to you in some respects, you've gone back to what feels natural.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is you stand that maybe that fraction closer, which has made me move your strike location a little bit into the heel, which is where you were.
I personally wouldn't, in conclusion, change and shorten my driver shaft into, say, 3-wood length, because I hit my 3-wood really a similar distance to what it's showing.
What's the point?
There's no point, is there? So
no point.
This club, if I need that little bit of extra yardage, maybe on a par 5, or possibly if we're playing better ball on a drivable par 4, I'd hit that. If not, I stick with my 3-wood because it's my go-to club.
And I would absolutely have to agree with what Lester's saying there. I think, what is the point? When he was hitting shots in the studio here now, I was thinking to myself, what's the point in this? He hits his 3-wood probably as far as what he's getting out of that driver with his 3-wood shaft. So there wouldn't be any point in you moving away from having that length driver shaft in his driver. But it'd be interesting to know what you think. I'd like to hear your comments down there. Have you been through this type of test? I'd like to hear if your pro has kind of had an idea or given you this idea to try and change that, or you've kind of gone about it in your own way. I'd like to hear what you have to say. So there you go. That gives you a little insight into driver shaft versus fairway shaft. Now, I am heading out onto the links today. We're going out for a game, my birthday game of golf. I hope you're going out for a game this weekend as well. And as always, stay safe, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again next week.